Thank you, Penny, for that very kind introduction, and thank you one and all for that very warm welcome. This is really a great event. So much Labor passion, energy, enthusiasm, even some live music. Now, I was going to say that there's a festival atmosphere in the air, but that might mean the Liberals will try and close down the event. I too acknowledge the traditional owners of this land. I pay my respects to elders, past, present and emerging. And at any Labor event or gathering, these words are not just a sign of respect, they're a promise for action. Because every Labor government is committed to do a better deal and greater equality for our first Australians. And friends, in New South Wales, if Labor is elected in 13 days' time, our first Australians will get some overdue equality in this state. Here in New South Wales, you have got a remarkable, passionate and dedicated Labor team to support. And at this election, you have a great opportunity. You have an opportunity to make Michael Daley Premier in a new Labor government in New South Wales. You know that when you look at what's been happening in Sydney, and indeed right around your state, the choice is clear, the contrast is stark. The Liberals and Nationals think that being in government is about telling people what to do. But in the Labor Party, we know that being in government is about what we can do for the people. The Liberals think that government is about helping their mates and helping themselves. We know that government is about helping the people. It's about leaving the place better than when we found it. It's about handing on a better deal to the next generation than that which we inherited from the previous generation. Now, the late, great Neville Wran did that. Barry Unsworth did that. Bob Carr did that. And Christina Keneally did that. This is what Labor premiers and Labor governments do. They build for the future. And friends, we know that the best thing that we can do for our society, for our community, for our economy, for the opportunities that our children will have in the future is to invest in education. Investing in education is the heart of Michael Daley's vision. Investing in the early years, preschool for every 3- and 4-year-old child, so that every child gets the best possible start in life. It's about investing in proper funding for public schools, so kids in the bush kids with a disability, kids from disadvantaged suburbs and poor families have equal opportunity in New South Wales to get a world-class education. We say it loudly and proudly here today, great teachers and great schools change lives, and today makes it very clear. Only a Daley Labor government will put in the money to make every school in New South Wales a great school. And friends, here in the Labor Party, here in New South Wales and right around Australia, we know that investing in education is about backing public TAFE all the way. If I'm I'm elected as Prime Minister, I want to work with Michael and his marvellous team to renovate and revitalise TAFE campuses and workshops all over New South Wales. And if Michael Daley is Premier, he will make sure that people can enrol and study in those TAFEs with no upfront fees at all. And something really important. Every time Labor governments work together on a good infrastructure project, a real infrastructure project, like fast-tracking Sydney Metro West, we'll make sure that the rule is that 1 in 10 people employed is an Aussie apprentice, full stop. TAFE is not something that we discover in the dying weeks of an election. It is in the Labor DNA every day of the year. Nowhere knows better than New South Wales that the Liberals have spent years cutting schools and cannibalising and privatising vocational education, and they suddenly want to try and use schools and TAFE as a backdrop for their photo opportunities. It's really about as convincing as Scott Morrison pretending that he cares about promoting women. It's about as convincing as Tony Abbott pretending that he cares about climate change. It's about as convincing as Peter Dutton pretending that he cares at all, full stop. There is only one party and one leader at this election passionate about the future of education, the future of schools, the future of apprenticeships, the future of TAFE, and it's Labor and Michael Daley. Now friends, this election is more than just a clash of policies. It's not just a contrast in priorities. It is a contest about values. It is a question about who should democracy work for. For 8 years, the Liberals and Nationals have put themselves ahead of the people of New South Wales. They think that government is just about special jobs for party hacks, special treatment for party donors, special favours for Liberal National cronies. Trust me, we see it in Canberra and you see it in Macquarie Street. The Liberals and Nationals using taxpayers' money and government power to look after those who already have money and power. In our Labor Party, we take a different view. Anyone who has spent 5 minutes talking to Michael Daley knows he is a man who loves his family, who loves his community, and he genuinely cares about helping people. He believes in public services and he believes in public service. And as we saw the other day, he'll always stand up for the ordinary people against the noisy and the powerful. Thanks for your service. How good was that? Michael is a great bloke. He is a strong leader, and with your help, I believe he will be a great Premier of New South Wales. New South Wales Labor are a great team. With your help, they can be a great government. So over the next 13 days, take every chance to talk to a friend, a neighbour, a colleague, someone at the club, the person in front of you waiting for their coffee. Start a conversation. Make a phone call. Knock on a door. Spread the word. Let's make the choice clear. The conversation you leave unsaid could be the difference, so leave the conversation said. If you want better schools and hospitals, vote for Michael Daley, vote Labor. If If you want better tape and infrastructure, vote for Michael Daley, vote for Labor. If you want a better deal for the people of New South Wales, all over this great state, vote for Michael Daley, vote Labor. And if you want a government that will help the people instead of helping itself, vote for Michael Daley, vote for Labor. Thank you very much.
Hail and name and the team from New South Wales Labor. You have outdone yourself. You have absolutely outdone yourself today. What a gathering, standing room only. 13 days to go, standing room only in this great venue. On behalf of my wife Christina and our family, in fact it looks like the whole Daley clan's here today. Thank you for such a warm welcome on such a big day. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Dharawal and Dharug people of the Eora Nation and their elders past, present and emerging. I'm also so proud to welcome and stand with my friend and your Deputy Leader, our wonderful warrior, Penny Shorten. Penny and I are very excited and we're humbled to be with you today. I can only describe this as a family gathering on a grand scale. We are a family, we are a tribe, the Liberals are afraid of us, they do not have this. And in 13 days' time, we will show them that their fear is justified when we win the election. Friends, would you also join with me in thanking our chieftain, the leader of the Australian Labor Party, the next Prime Minister of Australia, Bill Shorten. Bill is as resilient as they come. The Liberals think they keep knocking him down, he just keeps getting up. He's a fighter. He's fought on picket lines. He's fought in the Parliament, in commissions, atop a mine shaft and in boardrooms all over Australia. Bill has fought and continues to fight and will continue to fight for a fair go for all Australians. Let's not forget that he was one of the first to call for the Banking Royal Commission. And when the Liberals said no, not just once, but when the Liberals said no, 26 times no, he just kept saying yes. Bill, you made the case, you made it happen. Good on you, mate. And so I say on behalf of all of you, I say to a man who has given his entire life to the Labor movement, Bill, we are with you and we need you to be the next Labor Prime Minister of Australia. It's also great to see my friends, former Labor Premiers here, Bob Carr, Senator Christina Keneally and Barry Unsworth. Thank you for joining us today, Premiers. We also welcome all of the Federal Labor shadow ministers, candidates and MPs, all the members of my stellar frontbench and our team, and especially our host, our hard-working candidate for East Hills, Cameron Murphy. Good on you, Cameron. We thank the heart and soul of the Labor movement, our union leaders and union members. Thank you all for your support and resolve. We will get this done together. Friends, when the Labor movement comes together, you united for an important cause. It is a magnificent thing. This is a magnificent thing. And I'd like to shout out to all of our wonderful volunteers, particularly our enthusiastic young Labor team. Best in the nation. Good, you and the gang, best in the nation. The young Liberals try and imitate you. That's all they can do. They will never be like you. There is only one young Labor, and we have it. And friends, you might have heard a little bit about a bit of talk recently about stadiums. Just a bit. Now, you know that we've led the charge against this bad policy from day one, and we are not backing down, not 1 inch. In a government full of bad decisions, this one is one of the worst. And as a party, we've been united in our opposition. And today I want to take the opportunity to thank the Mayor of Waverley, John Wakefield, and Marjorie O'Neill. The next Labor member for Coogee, for taking the fight against the stadium splurge all the way to the courts. John, Marjorie, it was a brave thing to do. It was the right thing to do. Thank you from all of us. Friends, today with all of you present, I say to the state of New South Wales, Labor is united, ready, willing and able to govern. Friends, we can win this election. We're ready because, unlike the Liberals and Nationals, we're listening to the people of New South Wales. Ready because we have plans that put people first, that put schools and hospitals before Sydney stadiums. We all know that New South Wales needs a Labor government, but we need it now, before it's too late. Friends, never before have we seen such a government with such arrogance and a sense of entitlement. A government of corporate deal doers. A government which refuses to listen to local communities, or to experts for that matter, and pushes on with their misguided policies and bungled projects like the disastrous light rail. A government which so generously supports and favours the high-flying insiders of this town, you know, the people who think they own Sydney. A government that fails to understand whom they should be serving and where the boundaries should lie. Friends, just ask the people of Menindee, starved of water. Just ask the businesses that have collapsed as a result of the light rail. Or ask those families who've suffered significant damage as the WestConnex tunnels just metres under their homes, shaking the very foundations of century-old homes. And then the Liberals say they're cracking because it was a dry summer. And let's ask the people of rural and regional New South Wales who've been gutted to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars in infrastructure funding in favour of projects in Sydney. And ask the state's music industry how they've been treated. Not even the courtesy of a phone call about new rules that apply to them and will send them broke. Only a text message late at night. That's the most nighttime activity we've ever seen from this government. Friends, this is urgent. The state of New South Wales cannot afford another 4 years of a government that has sold $70 billion of your publicly owned assets and wasted a whopping $14 billion of those projects of those proceeds on bungled projects, mostly in Sydney. Friends, I just want you to know, this is not normal. This is not normal. There is something very wrong in the heart of this government around that cabinet table. The only way to fix things is to change the government. Before our hospitals are sold, before they privatise the rest of our electricity network and hike up prices even further. Before it becomes easier to get a seat in a stadium than it is on a bus. Before the Liberals and Nationals build more air-conditioned corporate boxes than air-conditioned classrooms. Before a perfectly good stadium is knocked down and rebuilt with your hard-earned taxes. before our regions and country towns are betrayed again by the Liberals and Nationals, with young people leaving our towns and villages in droves and going to the big cities. That is a shame. Friends, the Liberals and Nationals are selling our assets, $70 billion, all for the benefit of a lucky few. They've underfunded public services and overcrowded our buses, trains and whole suburbs in favour of their corporate pals. And friends, none of this is by accident. None of it. It's by design, it's by bad choices deliberately made. But friends, there is hope. There is hope. There is a better way. I believe the primary role of government is to put people first, to do public good. That's why I joined the Labor Party and stood for office. I firmly and truly believe this. It's what makes me tick. It's why I went into public and not private life. And I know the Labor Party I lead will make very different choices for our state, so let's talk about a few of them now. Friends, New South Wales Labor won't waste your money on City Stadium. We will invest in building and upgrading local hospitals, including the Nepean Hospital. A new hospital in Sydney's northwest, Anne-Marie Christie, made sure that happened. Labor will invest in Eurobadalla Hospital in Bega, Manning Hospital in Taree, Goulburn Hospital and Bankstown Hospital just up the road. As well as hospitals in South Harbour, the Tweed and Shoalhaven. And friends, we're just getting started. These are local hospitals that we're building and upgrading because our priorities and practical plans mean we can fund them. And friends, when we're talking about hospitals, I also want to give you this ironclad commitment today. Under Labor, every public hospital in New South Wales will remain in public hands. Look at the Liberals' disastrous Northern Beaches Hospital to know that. That's a model that we will not follow. Not now, not ever. And friends, it's not good enough just to talk about building hospitals. You have to staff them as well. Only Labor will deliver an extra 4,900 health and hospital workers, including paramedics, allied health workers, security guards, including its support staff to provide the best patient care. Thank you, Jared Hayes and Health Security. And friends, more than 5,500 nurses with mandated nurse-to-patient ratio. HSU and the Nurses Association and Labor will fix the public health system in New South Wales. Friends, right now there are fewer nurses per patient in smaller regional hospitals than in the big city hospitals. Only nurse-to-patient ratios will fix that. Legislated, mandated, history-making in New South Wales. Friends, 1.3 million people in New South Wales live with a mental health condition. They need better support, and so do the people who care for them. Like the young mental health nurse I met at Nepean Hospital a few weeks ago. She said to me with a tear in her eye that she loves nursing, but despite her love of the job, she was struggling with the stress and likely to leave the profession if nurse-to-patient ratios were not introduced. We've already announced nurse-to-patient ratios in emergency, maternity, medical, surgical and paediatric wards. So friends, today I am so proud to say to that nurse, that young nurse, and to announce to all of you today that a government I lead will extend nurse-to-patient ratios into our mental health units. One nurse. One nurse to every 4 patients. Friends, all of you who work in our hospitals deserve it and will deliver it. And when it comes to mental health, we need to do better, not just in hospitals, but in schools as well. As a father of 4, I know firsthand the mounting challenges of bullying, anxiety and stress that young people face. Our kids need more support in this fast-moving and often bewildering world. That's why Labor will deliver 450 new counsellors, psychologists and student support officers to give our young people the care and support they need. And that's not all. Labor will provide $20 million to partner with regional not-for-profits to tackle mental health issues in regional communities. We'll deploy 30 new clinical psychologists all across the state to create new standards in care. We'll allocate $40 million to build new mental health wards across the state because no one should be turned away. Whilst we're talking about looking after the salt of the earth people in the regions, we'll create a team of 50 drought support mental health workers for our suffering regional communities in this drought. Friends, this is all part of Labor's comprehensive mental health package of more than $2 billion. $2 billion of investment in mental health. Now, friends, the challenges facing our regions are stark. 1 million dead fish in Menindee. An international embarrassment, an environmental disaster. The Premier still hasn't been out there to see them. We have. Gross mismanagement of our water systems by the Liberals and Nationals that have drained regional communities of the water they need to survive. Friends, who would have thought in this day and age that such a basic need could have been so catastrophically denied by the Nationals? They should hang their heads in shame, and that's why I will immediately hold an inquiry into the water management along the Darling River to lay down a marker and ensure that this never happens again. That's not all. I announced today $1 billion to improve water supply and security in regional communities to protect our waterways. We'll partner with regional councils to upgrade water infrastructure and to fund innovative water management practices to improve water supply to rural communities. Our rivers are under great stress right across the state. And so this package aims to improve water quality in rivers like the Richmond River at Asra and Shorten, which is in trouble on the north coast, and in the Barwon and Darling River system in the state's west. Now friends, Labor knows that by 2036 there will be 1 million students enrolled in the New South Wales public schools. That's an extra 200,000 students we need to plan for. Right now there are a staggering 4,600 demountables in New South Wales. 636 schools are at or above 100% capacity. And friends, I visited a few weeks ago the Ponds High School in Western Sydney. Opened just 4 years ago and already chock-a-block full of demountables. And even now, as we meet here, the Liberals and Nationals are planning to buy 520 more demountables instead of investing in new classrooms. The children and young people of New South Wales deserve better than this. We'll divert $500 million from the Sydney Stadium splurge to replace 1,000 ageing demountables with new, state-of-the-art, permanent air-conditioned classrooms. Friends, it's affordable and we're going to do it. But that's not all. Friends, the Liberals and Nationals have also ignored the funding standards set by David Gonski. And so here in New South Wales, the State Liberals and Nationals fund our public school kids to the tune of 70% of the Gonski standard. This means larger classes, fewer teachers and fewer support staff for the next generation. It means that over $1,500 a year meant for each child's education has been taken from them, but they can still spend $2.2 billion on Sydney stadiums. I say that's a disgrace, and we won't have it. I say that if state government's not about good quality education for our children, then what is it about? And so today I'm announcing a bold but necessary plan. Partnering with the next Prime Minister and our federal counterparts, New South Wales will become the first state to fund students to 100% of the Gonski standard. So thank you very much, Bill. This is good old-fashioned Labor stuff in action. We'll get it done together. And to achieve this, we'll invest $2.7 billion over the next 8 years. That's $1,500 for every child to improve literacy and numeracy. It means more teachers, more one-on-one time with students, and more support staff. It means every child will be given their chance, the fair chance that this government is denying. Friends, when we talk about education, it's not just about school children. We believe in lifetime opportunities in education. It's why we will rebuild the Labor TAFE system that this government has cut to within an inch of its life. These are the sobering facts. Since 2011, 172,000 students are enrolled in TAFE now in the last 8 years. 172,000 fewer students are enrolled. 5,700 TAFE teachers and support staff have been sacked. TAFE colleges have been replaced with shop fronts, as if that's acceptable. And there's been an average 22% increase in course fees. A Labor government will make TAFE courses in areas of skills shortages free. This means that from 2020, we'll offer more than 600,000 free TAFE places over the next 10 years. Free TAFE courses in building and construction, in plumbing and the electrical trades, but it's not all about trades. We'll provide free TAFE for disability workers as well to support our NGOs. And aged care and childcare courses will also be free under a Daley Labor government. And as the workforce changes, of course, we'll add additional courses to train students in the critical skills our future workforce needs. A Daley Labor government will also provide TAFE with a funding guarantee to secure its future. We guarantee that at least 70% of the vocational education and training budget will be allocated to TAFE. Apart from educational standards, what else does it mean? Well, it means this, my friends. The privatisation of TAFE is over. Friends, everywhere I go in the state, people want to talk to me about the cost of living. You hear it back through our shadow ministers in every corner. Under the Liberals and Nationals, electricity prices have risen by 60%. That's what happens when you privatise the electricity network. I want more dollars in people's pockets. That's why we'll support 500,000 households to install rooftop solar and reduce electricity bills over the next 10 years. It's only Labor who will make public transport free for children travelling on the Opal network. And whilst we're talking about free travel, I want to say to the people of Western Sydney, friends, Labor will restore the M4 cashback. Currently, regular Western Sydney commuters pay over $2,000 a year in tolls travelling along the M4, a road you already paid for once. The Liberals have locked those tolls in for 43 years, rising at 4% each and every year regardless of the inflation. So the choice is simple for the people of Western Sydney. If you want to travel for free on the M4, vote for Michael, Daley and Labor in 2 weeks. Friends, we also aim to ease your daily train commute, and we'll do this by investing $8 billion to fast-track construction of the Western Metro. Bill Shorten's giving us $3 billion for that task. Thanks, mate. Pretty handy having friends like you. And we'll also invest $3 billion into the existing Sydney rail network. People don't want to wait until 2036, they want investment in the existing rail network right now. We'll also expand the pinch point program to $1.1 billion to remove those small but important traffic headaches in local communities. It's not all about tollways, sometimes it's about that annoying roundabout or intersection that stops you on the way to dropping the kids to school in the morning. And for our friends in the regions, we'll invest $900 million fixing local regional roads. And roads that are rated as poor or very poor by the NRMA will receive the funding they need to reach a satisfactory standard. Friends, we'll tackle the Liberals' overdevelopment head-on. Labor will end the scourge of spot rezoning, that wretched fast track for developers, which has hijacked Sydney's planning system. Spot rezoning was introduced by the Liberals and Nationals to get around local councils and to fast track developments that would otherwise have been prohibited. This will become a thing of the past under a government that I lead. I am slamming the door shut on this backdoor to overdevelopment. Friends, we desperately need jobs in rural and regional New South Wales. The land the Liberals and Nationals have forgotten. So I'll introduce a target that says that major state government contracts must use 50% local products, people and services. This means big projects will access and employ local people, local businesses and local communities, and this is a first for New South Wales. We'll also do something the Tories will never do. They can't even speak it. We'll embrace the renewables revolution. And this revolution will create more than 13,000 jobs in rural and regional New South Wales. And we'll boost the number of career advisors by 100 for regional high schools and establish a unit of 15 dedicated career advisors to target areas of persistent youth high unemployment. These are simple and practical plans to give people in the country better choices and better chances. Friends, a government I lead will govern for all of New South Wales, in the cities and the regions which have been so poorly served by the Liberals and Nationals for the last 8 years. My friends, I entered Parliament at the age of 39 to help and serve my community, to lighten the load and improve the lives of everyday people like you as you go about your business. I want you to have opportunities for yourselves and for your children, opportunities that I've had in my life, working first as a customs officer, studying law at night, and then being a lawyer for the NRMA. That's why I'm standing here, friends. I believe that government is supposed to make life a little bit easier, not a hell of a lot harder. Government is supposed to be for you and your family, not for a few select insiders. Friends, we will plough on to election day, and if we form government will be about one thing and one thing only: putting people first. Thank you so much.